Stipe Miocic made an appearance on Jake Paul's podcast and previewed the upcoming fight against Jon Jones at UFC 309. Stipe also discusses whether or not he will retire after the fight. He said, "I'm excited, honestly. It's finally here. It was supposed to happen last year. Unfortunately, an injury took it away. But here we are. We're 3 weeks away. I'm ready, man. I've been pumped. I keep quiet. I focus on the task at hand. Just worry about my fight. That's all I worry about." Jon Jones does a lot of things good, but I have great coaches, great teammates, and they make me prepared for whatever happens. I'm not going to wait for what he's going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. On retiring, Stipe continued, "I don't know. I say it after every fight. I think about retiring, so we'll see. Right now I'm just worried about the fight, and I can worry about that after it until it happens." Kamaru Usman and Mike Tyson discuss what it's like fighting your friends. Kamaru brings up when he defended his title against Gilbert Burns back in 2021 and TKO'd him in the 3rd round. Usman and Burns trained together for years prior.
I found myself in a position to where, and potentially I'm in that position again right now, to where I'm in the gym with the guy who's close to fighting for the title. I remember when I was a champion and my training partner I trained with for years, Gilbert Burns, he ends up becoming the #1 contender. And I remember watching that fight. I was in camp as well, getting ready to defend against someone else. And I remember watching him win, and I'm watching the fight, and then he calls me out on television after the fight.
Like that.
And I remember the feeling. I just felt so like, well, that's supposed to be my guy.
You didn't smile and laugh?
No, at the first I didn't. At first I
Mike's
didn't.
a businessman. Mike's a businessman. He gets it.
At first I didn't, because I felt, because when you're in it, when you're in the mix, and especially I'm in training camp as well, you're ultra sensitive to everything.
Yeah.
So your emotions, they change like this, and I remember how I felt about that. I felt like, that's my guy. I've helped for years trying to get better, helped him trying to win fights. I've even cornered him for fights, and now he wants to take everything that I have.
No, you didn't look at it like that. You look at it like this. That's a business deal.
That's true, but at that time,
That's deal.
Yeah, that's the same reason why you brought Roy Jones for that exhibition. And I was like, damn, like at first at the beginning, I was like, I don't like that match that much, because I felt like Roy was gonna move a lot. But then I was just like, all right, I got it. So once I talked to you, like, I brought him in, we both
It's all business. This is business, man.
I understood that after. During, I didn't.
Tom Aspinall discusses being the backup for Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. On his YouTube channel, Tom said, "What's the plan? Turn up, do some media, cause a few scenes here and there, and try to make the winner stick around and fight me, hopefully. Just see what happens, really. I'm really interested how both guys look in the fight. That's really interesting for me up close, especially up close, because it's a little bit different than on TV. I want to go up close and see what these guys look like in live action. Do you know what I mean? How are they moving? What are they doing? You can see little differences in real life than you could see on TV, and I'm looking forward to that." Daniel Cormier compares Ilia Topuria to Conor McGregor and Sean O'Malley. DC thinks that Ilia Topuria has a major edge due to the fact that he has wrestling and he's so well-rounded. Ben says that he actually thinks that had Conor McGregor stayed focused, he could have been a long-reigning champion.
Topuria was really, really impressive. He's good everywhere. You know, I was actually kind of thinking like Topuria might be what we thought Conor was going to end up being, or we thought Sean O'Malley was going to be. He's got a great personality.
Can I ask you something real quick to stop you on that point? I don't mean to cut you off. Did we really think Sean O'Malley was going to be that? Just be honest. Like,
I thought once he got rolling, there was a chance.
In terms of personality, maybe. But Topuria came here as a wrestler. O'Malley doesn't have that. Conor never had that. Like, that, to me, limits the idea that those guys could have been great long-reigning champions.
Well, I actually think Conor, had he stayed focused and not done the booger sugar, probably could have been. You know, I mean, he just kind of stopped fighting. Like, he was really, really a good fighter. He had a few weaknesses, but then, you know, once he kind of achieved the level of fame, his life feels like it just changed, and the frequency at which he fought went way down. You know, he never defended his title at either weight class, not one time at 55, 45, or 55. And Sean O'Malley, obviously, like the Peter Yan fight, showed some weaknesses, but then it kind of appeared that maybe he's gonna get over them and get through them. Merab, I suppose, was the boogeyman. And now with Topuria, you see, Holloway and Volkanovski kind of ran that division for a really long time. I have to go back and look, but it feels like many years.
Many years.
And he took them out back to back.
He got them both in less than one fight. He got Max in the third. He got Volk in the second.
Conor McGregor went off on Belal Muhammad today. When Conor pulled out of his fight against Michael Chandler due to a toe injury, Belal mocked him for it. Conor returned the favor yesterday when the news broke that Belal pulled out of UFC 10 due to a bone infection in his foot. Belal fired back saying, "I have this for antibiotics. You use needles because you are a junkie. We are not the same." Conor fired back saying, "Scudder talk just like you're fighting. You lambasted UFC world champions multiple times on having to reschedule their bouts through injury, and now it has come down on you like a bomb from the sky. It is glorious to see. No fight, no money, but staph infection. Bum, stripped instantly. Zero knockdowns / any excitement or traffic or views or ticket sales in a bout. And now also non-reliable to show. Strip, cut, infected fighter. You have infections." Michael Bisping discusses Khamzat Chimaev's new look during the UFC 308 fight week. Bisping said when he sat down and interviewed Khamzat, he looked like a totally different version of himself.
It's not going to be a norm. It's not. There's a reason why it's the first time we've seen it done like that. Okay, it won't be the norm, Harrington, but it's not surprising from Khamzat. It's just not. I mean, it was crazy because last week he was very humble. Super humble. He looked like a different version of himself. I sat down with him on my YouTube channel and we did a quick interview. He looked like a professor. He had the glasses on. His energy was very calm. He was super humble at the press conference. He had the nicest things to say about Robert Whittaker. He went up to the mountains of Chechnya or Russia, was training up there at altitude. He was much, much lighter and leaner than what he usually was, but it didn't affect his power. Jesus Christ. And he was humble, and he was calm, and he was in control until he walked out. And then he just sprinted to the octagon. I was like, he's still in there. You know what I mean? Because, you want to control yourself a little bit. When you're in public and you're doing interviews, you want to, you want to refine yourself as you go through life. You don't always want to be whatever version that you were. You always want to be changing, and you always want to be evolving, and you always want to be improving as a person as you go along. But you still want Khamzat Chimaev to be Khamzat Chimaev inside the octagon. That's what he's here for.
Brandon Moreno plans to make a statement against Amir Albazi this weekend at UFC Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a long time, right? Just a few months. But those months helped me a lot to recover my body, to recover my mind. And that's it. I feel very motivated. I feel very motivated because all those months thinking about what is next for me helped me to remember why I love the sport and why I love to fight. And that's why I'm here today, and that's why I'm here representing again Mexico, my country, fighting against Amir Albazi. I had a hard time leading with myself, but I think I did it well because right now I feel very motivated. I'm very excited to fight. Amir, I think he's very motivated right now. He's never losing at the UFC, and he knows if he beat me this Saturday in our fight, he's gonna be at the title conversation in his next one. So with that being said, I don't know. I feel very motivated as well. I try never depend to motivation because I think that's like a push of energy. But then it's like sugar. You take sugar, like you feel a good rush, but then so I don't depend on motivation. I try to be very disciplined and be very focused on my goals. So my goals right now is to grow my legacy, be the champion again, and that's it. Just keep opening doors for all the Mexican fighters are coming in the future. What I have to do this Saturday is making a statement. Hey, like a lot of people is talking about Brandon Moreno, like he's done and whatever, talking like he's like a old fighter or whatever. They're wrong. I feel on my point. I feel on my prime. I feel very frustrated for that because I was talking with my coach like, hey, it's weird how I feel on my prime, but I wasn't been able to show that to the people
Renato Moicano thinks that Ilia Topuria is better than Conor McGregor could have ever been. Renato thinks Ilia would still be better even if Conor stayed focused and didn't start partying.
I know people are gonna hate this, but especially because over the gym we have a couple guys like Evloev. I was talking to him yesterday, and I was, you were not impressed about that, and he said no, I think Max was like he was not impressed by that, but me myself, brother, I think this guy is I think he's better than McGregor would ever be.
Wow.
Because McGregor is like, we didn't see the best McGregor. You know what I mean? Yeah. McGregor was,
whenever he was getting his prime,
he got so much money that he went crazy. But I think Topuria is better than even if McGregor would take the right path.
He's 27 still.
That's the crazy thing, is there's an argument that
striking, wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu. Man, these guys, to think about that, he go over there and knock Max Holloway like that, and I think he won 2 rounds.
And Conor fought against Max, he didn't do that.
No.
Man, I was so impressed with this guy.
But in reality, Topuria is not gonna be never on the same level as McGregor, I think. Because that was a window of opportunity, The sport was growing.
I think this guy has
he's not gonna
potential.
never. And what made McGregor huge, the rivalry, my brother, was Jose Aldo, and there was Khabib, and even though he lost, but this guy is just destroying people.
After the news broke that Belal Muhammad pulled out of UFC 310, Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalev both replied with phone emojis, insinuating that they're willing to step in as the main event on short notice. Despite this, Magomed and his team do not believe that Alex will actually take the fight. Speaking to Meta MMA, Magomed's coach said this is all just talk. There has been no official offer. We are ready to perform on December 7th. Magomed has no problems with a visa. There are doubts about Pereira's desire, because he recently said that he plans to complicate our path to the title. Today, MMAfighting.com reported that Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalev will not headline UFC 310. The UFC is allegedly not even discussing this as an option. Alessandre Pantoja versus Kaya Sakura, which was originally the co-main event, is currently at the top of the card. Israel Adesanya defended Alex Pereira when a young fan approached him and told him Alex sucks. Izzy posted this footage to his YouTube channel.
Scrap, right? Listen, brother. Nah, he's all good. He's really good. Show him respect. He's really good. Don't worry. I beat him already. So you can be a fan. Don't worry. We're already champs. Love you, brother. See you, man.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Alex Pereira seeming to offer to step in at UFC 310 in replacement for Belal versus Shavkat. The first one says Alex must have heard folks saying that he wasn't the fighter of the year anymore. The second one's from Icy Hot. Says if Alex step in and flatline Ankalev, screw the fighter of the year. He's the fighter of the decade. And the final one's from Harry Carter. Says Alex Pereira is the ultimate final boss. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.